cold check cashing spot sealed my eyes, hearing voices, but none of them sing to me. I'm lucky to be a metaphor for no one. A Greek philosopher takes the path of least resistance. The Brides Corporation aged dons. In boardrooms, they ask if county line skin can be turned directly into cornflakes. A Senate special chain gang mines our neighborhoods for evidence of continent unity. Makes a mess of the word kin. System makes a psychic adjustment. Makes a war report out of a family's secret chord progression. Makes white people geniuses. Lynch mob freaks rehearse their show tunes in the courthouse walls that they take for mirrors. Rehearse for a president's pat on the head, a pat on the head that they take for audience laughter. A lot of surgeons, a lot of speed, pretty ink-stained teeth, write themselves a grin. Imperialist speechwriter grins boil over in my ink-riddled mind. A non-teacher dripping with real people. I mean real people, not poems. A street with no surface somehow. A soul singer somehow in the West. Consolation eternity, or the poor man's disorder is half of a spirit, or husk of a messiah. Religious memorabilia made from the wood of reform fence, the sibling domestic colonies, and a non-profit Tuesday meltdown through some straightforward time. Plot twist provided by white beggars in a black city, the fathers who Reagan flicked, kicking garbage, thinking about racial production, notebooks dangling out of car windows. We go the way of now extinct hand gestures. Mediterranean sandals and underground moods in tandem. I mean, whoever I am today is still your friend. Crooked cops and crooked news junkies. Diallo is your mind on military science. Is from your monotheistic toy collection. If you turn down the television low enough, you can hear San Francisco begging for more war profiteering. If it wasn't for San Francisco, there wouldn't have been a transatlantic slave trade. We will not live forever, but someone out here wants us to. We are mice pouring through an hourglass. In Olympus, Babylon, or Babylon, Olympus, subway car smoke session making its way into an interrogation room. Maybe it's all just one room. It's definitely all just one smoker. Poor people writing letters near books about Malcolm X. Ice picking the art, new floorboards for Watts prophecy. Pen twitching over scrap paper, pen tweeting while smoothly a bus driver delivers incarcerated children. The Lord's door opens.
Should have taken the pause, but not to gauge just have the debate with non-listening what really needed to say for the fermented thoughts. It was the non-listening for the shredded for the host inside the roadside, over the autism for the mind that be with the evidence in the darker the lens, and for the needed paper for the battle, enough for the always listening so much better than you with the right down. Trees that hold the tales for so long ago, for the witness in the life, for the secrets they hold still. If you inquire over the however bold this world, wonders the stories that could be told. This language is this spent lazy. Morning for the listless in the morning for the duets and pillows and for the swamp, the coolest of drone, for the deep and for the pounds of potential for the imposter. Am I a writer for each word? Seems juvenile for the lacking, scraping by, for the inspired, for the fighting of the dark parts of the subconscious, for the thoughts of the triggering, for the think I will, for the rest of my mind. I'm tired. Those lost in name and the legality, for the pain of looking upon the country made for this room and the stream, the body parts and the holding space in me, for the world with the main, the something different, for the stairs is down. Heaven whispered your name before my eyes open for the folding of sunbeams into the lows of casting of the life of the heads to say so. I rose in our radiance and baptized with the grace for the vision, for the human bodies of the ambition, for the beauty to carve from the love, for the selfless of the radiant, for the look at me of the prayers that were only murmurs and for the left in the soul of the revolution, for the green go for the gifting of the world joy, for the laughter, for the remedy, for the cathedral. Sing songs for the every shade of carry, for the holding the scars like sacred. Lifts this gaze into the unmasked, craving to be more than ever. Trying to support for the purpose and the lean for the Saturday, but the seeking to the mean. Morning breaks. Stakes and spinning. Miracle for the possibility for the tracing the starlight from the ceiling. Feeling the aura for the wrapped around the chest of this and finally chasing in the dream. Walking hours determined for the waiting to catch her, for the lifting of the song higher, for the learning how to love her over what she is. I don't know, the trend. Not the spirit, the sizzles for the water, for the silver, for the warren, usually for the how to be days accord. But alive at the death of the slowly moving, without a regret for the help, without the hesitation for the madness of the curse of the place for the moment to find the tragedy, without the map of the emerge for the scattered dream, empty drawer, large life for the full of keep needy and tidy for the sum of the flow, the clothes, the button for the folded things of the car, for the letters of the taxes, people that you can find the talking out for the untitled, for the imaginary and the mirror to say. What choices are really there for the life, for the stability bright enough for the wind out for the darkness and confusing, for the comforting over the heart of the dragging night. Threading through the burbage between the start for the with the each beat you can find a better the time for the deep for the sheep and never find a rhyme for the little what I seek for the so sweet the melody for the saxophone for the ring off the hook for the to be the tippets of the circle for the scar for the sky for the circling of the cliffs of the whispers near for the wind house over the waves collide. I have nothing to say no more but plead with me for nice words or two what to say to the split open for the darkness through you I find emerging with the ache for fleeting the night lingering beyond the moments of the moment the brief of the snowflake and calling to the bare hands. It's a stand maybe I'll be alright. I can't stand you for sit down my friend, but don't pretend, be authentic and true. Keep loving your heart, you know what to do, kid. Remain you.
Word with so many uncentered designs, whatever the evil or good ones that you can find, it couldn't make it the final destination for the you. Words like the part for the master, for the grafted, the graphic, hieroglyphics, scientific, for the predictive, for the only heavily scanned transcripts, this visible for the some intentions. Call it that, the counter for the spaceship or whatever the planet even. For the more advantage for your source of the high classification for your data, for the possibilities for the overthrowing it all, for the expression for the tooling existence, and the words that are like part of the name. The fridge hums a quiet warning to remembering your footsteps and the dabbling in the sunlight from which you remain. Behold abandoned, such as life it had been. Pulling up and walk down the crooked code for the silence of the story, for the never told, for the night back, stars out of line, and the glass ceiling and the fears with the don't. The thresholds of the heart, bird with so many uncentered designs, whatever the evil or good ones that you could find, it couldn't make it. The thresholds of the heart, bird with so many uncentered designs, whatever the evil or good ones that you could find, it couldn't make it the final destination for the you could be. The words like the part for the master, for the graphic, the graphic, hieroglyphics, scientific, for the predictive, for the only heavily scanned transcripts, this visible for the some contingents. All of that, the counter for the spaceship or whatever the planet even. For the more advantage for your source of the high classification for your data, for the possibilities for the overthrowing it all, for the expression for the tooling existence, and the words that are like the part of the name. The fridge hums a quiet warning to remembering your footsteps and the dabbling in the sunlight from which you remain. Behold abandoned, such as life it had been. Pulling up to walk down the crooked code for the silence of the story, for the never told, for the night back, stars out of line, and the glass ceiling and the fears where they don't feel become. Invitations for the ruling and asking someone to stay. And returning to yourself. The warmth of the sunlight after the shivering in the desolate cave, for the sight for the life of the invisible voice that echoed and ready to roar. With the line of the truth, with the grief and the enticing and the undesired, unknown, envy, joy to the bone, for the wrath of the blind eye consumes the heart. The sloths whisper the rest of the band of decline, for the gluttony, for the feasting, for the forgetting time, for the burning of the fast, and the fleeting flame, for the seven shadows of the hunting in my name. An unseen horror for cursed edges in it. Night for the silence that thicken your breath and not your own. Walls lean near every step that multiplies dark. Vanishing act for the quieter. When even the walls stop listening for the ceiling that doesn't judge me, and a million voices talking to each other for the none of them makes sense. This is for the half that this is not, that doesn't matter for anymore. For the whisper of the mistakes back to you, for the only voice screams back for this to sign up for you, for the own regrets, for the beginning how to breathe, for this advantage, or how to survive, for the noise of the stare at the trees and never the stare at the water, for this to be the fire, for the pretending of the flames of the demons inside of your chest, for this to argue with yourself. The voice within, never be without. Another lies for the tribe, for another, for the untitled. Reading every day for the you who can find Christ for the bleed. Possessed for the humankind, for the present, for the coexisting, for the echoes of the hunting in every step of this is all. Fragments of heaven, for those heaven and one to claim, for the only broad life that slips through the hands, and the life that is truly going to live, for the passing through, for the caressing, caring over the outliving of me. For the knowing of the save our souls in the heaven, for the truth, for this to find the day, for the time, for the comes, for the scripts of the bread, and what's the ring throughout the lands of the sun, for the this will be the moon, for the merging of the one, for the earth, for the returning to none, for the innocent out of you, for the knowledge of the lost. For the high to climb inside of yourself, for the big pay will cost this will be walk. Mirrors trapped with the cage fueled with the burnt exhausting. The knowing, the unknown, the end of the day, fear for the inner self, for the sitting with the everyday, for the this to be the raw undone. Look at the sea, for the what you see. Now for the drowning, for the ripe of the root, for the each person, for the strolling of the green, for the blue cannon, for the flapping of the moon, for the final poke. 10. Wait, she was the winter wind for the sinking through my thoughts. Tender, sting. Breaking up the art, with the deadly apart from the waking, this vice. Dream. Endless, and there's nothing good for this. Got to be a piece of cake for never to been eaten for the Sunday night thoughts. Trust. Sideway compass over your daylight, tell the moon. Quiet, honest. Nothing heavy. You're a perfect narcissist. Just to wait to work to find the first look at yourself, not the hate for the born ways. So the stick here for the choke on it. For the underneath for the butterscotch and the lies of the sun. Surprisingly, it's a milk. Similar for the road with the hopes of this kind of neglect for the life of you. Before the time you got me. Title of the stars, specifically with the eternal thing to the river, bust and critique. Never the picture for the heaven, but the tilted sleep against that shoulder for the breathing in the time for the keep yourself with the time of rhythm. Folded into each other for the souls that be melted into the image, being a million of it emerging over invisible for the left to be summoned to.
I feel like Psalm T in the chambers doing more reps. pensioners, cobbler, school teacher, postman, fancy woman, and the undertaker, drunkard, dressmaker, preacher, policeman, the Wentford cockle women, and the tidy white young girls like they did school, glide in their dreams with rings and trousseau. It is spring. Moonless night in the small town. Starless and Bible flying. Cobble streets silent. And the hunched quarters and rabbits wood limping invisible now to the slow black, crow black fishing boat bobbings. The houses are blind as moles, though. Moles see fine tonight in the smelting velveteen so blind as Captain Cat left in the muffled middle by the pump and the town clock, the shops, the morning, the welfare home, the widow's weed, and all the people of the loud and dumbfound town. Sleeping now, whoosh, babies are sleeping, the farmers, the fishers, the tradesmen and pensioners, cobbler, school teacher, postman and publican, the fancy woman and the undertaker, drunkard, dressmaker, preacher, policeman, the Wentford cockle women, and the tidy white young girls like they did school, glide in their dreams